Hello viewers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Also, click on the bell icon so that you get the latest information about the videos that are uploaded. Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to start chapter number 12, Reproduction in Plants. In today's session, we will see the introduction of the chapter and also the asexual reproduction in lower organisms. Students, in the previous classes, you have learned about the characteristics of living organisms. Reproduction is one of the important characteristics of all living organisms. Do you know why? Because all living organisms die after completing their life cycle. Therefore, it is very essential to produce the new organisms. So, reproduction is helping to continue the life as well as in increasing the population of a particular species. So, reproduction is very important and we should learn about it. So, reproduction is an important life process found in all living organisms. All living organisms die after completing their life cycle. Living organisms produce their own kind by reproduction and helps in the continuation of life and in increasing the population of a given species. So why reproduction is important or it is necessary? Because it helps in continuation of the life as well as to increase the population. So, how can we define reproduction? The process by which organisms produce young ones of their own kind is known as reproduction. So, here young ones means offspring. That is, in this chapter, we are going to study about the reproduction in plants. You know that many things about plants. Plants reproduce in many different ways. That is, modes of reproduction in plants are many. In the life cycle of a plant, flowers change into fruits which have seeds in them. Seeds germinate to produce new plants. So, flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant. We can say that flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. Why? Because the flowers, on getting maturity, it changes into fruits. And you know that inside the fruits, what is there? Seeds. And these seeds germinate to form new plants. So what we can say? Flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant. And the plants have got other parts also, like roots, stems and leaves. They are the vegetative parts of the plant. So which are the vegetative parts of the plant? Roots, stems and leaves are called the vegetative parts of the plant. Further, there are two main types of reproduction in plants. They are asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. The plants reproduce in two different ways. They are asexual and sexual reproduction. Let us see what are they. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is needed and the offsprings are genetically identical to the parent. What does it mean? Only one parent is needed and the offspring, that is the young ones produced in that way, are exactly identical as that of the parent. That means the offspring and parent are identical. This type of reproduction occurs without seeds. So, what we can say? In asexual reproduction, seeds are not formed. This type of reproduction takes place without the formation of seeds. Next, in sexual reproduction, both parents are needed, one male and one female. This type of reproduction occurs by the formation of seeds. So, in sexual reproduction, both the parents are needed, that is one male and one female parent. And this type of reproduction occurs by the formation of seeds, and the offsprings will have a mixture characteristics of both the parents. Now we will discuss about asexual reproduction in detail. Asexual reproduction can take place in an organisms by the following methods, which are the budding, fragmentation, spore formation and vegetative propagation. So all these four methods we are going to learn in this chapter. Let us take one by one. First of all, let us discuss about budding. Budding is the method of reproduction in which a small part of the body of the parent organism grows out as a small bulb-like projection called the bud. So what is bud? A small bulb-like projection that comes out as an outgrowth from the body of the parent. That is known as bud. Then what happens to this bud afterwards? This bud, after being developed, detaches from the parent's body to grow independently into a new organism. What does it mean? The bulb-like projection called a bud, when it is being completely grown up, then it gets detached from the parent body and develop independently into a new organism. And this type of reproduction takes place in microorganisms like yeast and bacteria. So where do we find this type of reproduction, that is budding? We can easily see in the yeast and bacteria. They both are microorganisms. Now let us understand the process of budding by taking the example of yeast. You know, yeast is a unicellular organism which reproduces by budding. First of all, a small bud appears as an outgrowth from the body of the parent cell. Here the diagram I have drawn. This is the parent yeast, that is the parent cell. From there, a small bud, that is outgrowth, is developed, and afterwards this what happened? Then the nucleus of the parent cell split into two and migrates into the daughter cell. As shown here, the parent cell has started to give an outgrowth called a bud, and afterwards the nucleus splits into two, and that nucleus migrate into the new yeast cell. After some time you can see that this separated yeast cell, that is the new cell, the daughter cell, gets separated from the parent cell. And this process repeats many times and forms a chain of yeast cell as shown here. So, migrates into the daughter cell. In the end, the newly formed bud separates and grows into a new yeast cell. This process repeats to form a chain of yeast cell. Now, let us discuss the second method of asexual reproduction, that is fragmentation. Fragmentation is the process of breaking up of the parent organism into small parts, each of which can grow into a new complete individual. So, this method of reproduction is found in green algae such as Spirogyra. They are thread-like plants that grow in stagnant water, ponds, lakes, etc. So what is fragmentation? It is the process of breaking up the parent organism into small pieces, and each part can grow into a new individual. One example is the green algae such as Spirogyra. So fragmentation is found in the green algae like Spirogyra. Where do they grow? They grow in the freshwater bodies like ponds and lakes, and also in the stagnant water. They are thread-like plants that grow in the stagnant water plants and ponds and lakes. So what happens to the filament-like structure of Spirogyra? This filament of Spirogyra breaks into two or more fragments, that is pieces, and each fragment develops into a new individual. Here, as shown in the diagram, this is the complete cell of a Spirogyra. Here, each Spirogyra breaks up into parts. Here, it is broken down into two parts, and each of these parts can grow into a new individual. So, this method of reproduction is known as fragmentation. The third mode of asexual reproduction is spore formation. This mode of reproduction is observed in fungi such as molds and mushrooms, and in non-flowering plants such as ferns and mosses. So, in which type of organisms we find the spore formation? In fungus like molds and mushrooms, and also in the non-flowering plants such as ferns and mosses. The spores are the tiny spherical single-celled structures that grow into a new individual. Spores are the tiny spherical structures. They are of single cell that can grow into a new individual. They have hard protective coat and remain dormant in unfavorable conditions. They keep floating in the air. That means the spores are having very hard protective structure. They remain dormant. They are not active. They are safely placed inside the structure, and they keep floating in the air. When the spores fall in the favorable conditions, when they get all the favorable conditions necessary for the growth, they break open and develop into a new individual. In plants, spores are produced in specialized structures called sporangia. Sporangia is the plural form and sporangium is the singular form. So, in the non-flowering plants like ferns and mosses, these spores are produced in the sporangia, and under favorable conditions, the spore germinates and develops into a new individual. Here, when the favorable conditions are available to the plants, the sporangium breaks open and develops into a new individual. So students, I hope you have understood the topics very well. But still, if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will surely try to solve it as early as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook. Thank you.